done all that damage that they are crediting themselves for, and it's an overcredit on children's social services to say my daughter's better off without me, when in fact clearly she isn't. They forced me to live in darkness. They forced me to have this invisible enemy that has put me into a prison we all call these two systems, which is the NHS mental health services under the disguise of a care package. So I'm being forced to rely on and beg from my enemy because I have no family, because I'm an orphan and outcast. They target the most vulnerable, they target the poorest, and they're very fast about doing it. So how can I recover from what they have totally destroyed? My home, my one and only child. How could I recover from discrimination on illegal aid when they're continually walking all over me as a downtrodden, literally downtrodden? My back is broken. So I should not be treated as a slave to my daughter, number one. That's their handiwork versus my hands-on to say the sign is stop, you're out of order. Number two, the neighbour that I cared for as myself, with politeness, with consideration, and with communication. The neighbour did not return that golden rule: consideration, communication. They decided to boast that they're homeowners and they're capitalists. They have cars and they wanted me out of here, so they created a hostile environment. Another hand to say stop. I have nothing to do with my neighbours. I don't know who they are. I don't talk to them. And I live here as a civil arrangement plan. For nearly 10 years I live in Rickmansworth, which is a second floor flat. I'm not happy. It's not a suitable accommodation to be stuck with only a shower and no bath. I'm not happy. There's no lift. I'm not happy because I didn't know my spine was going to deteriorate. And I'm not happy. It's not a suitable accommodation. But I'm not happy either to move too quickly to another property because I'm severely disabled and it's very stressful to move home. So it has to be a gradual thing and not to have Thrive Homes Association to put pressure on me to move home. I don't owe them any rent. I don't own any council tax. And I make sure to pay my bills responsibly. Point number 3. Why it is a neighbourhood of hell. They've unwelcomed me, they attempted to push me out of my own home and make me lose my independence and make me lose my mind. Number 3, to understand the terms and conditions of children's social services and mental health services to keep their law so that I can have some peace and quiet and have some recuperation of my physical and mental health. But it's not the other way around. So again, another hand sign, stop. Because they don't allow me to, they don't keep my rules, my domestic rules, my religious freedoms, and my freedoms of speech. So they're the 3 points how my neighbours of hell, my marriage of hell, which was an ill marriage. I was actually married in a blue wedding dress. I never had a white one. It was a pale blue sparkly wedding dress. So I never had a white wedding dress. I never got married in church. I never had a good witness. It was all bad witnesses. I never had a man who believed in God. It was always an atheist man and a devil in the church. In total, I only had 2 men I had sex with, one of which is dead, my daughter's dad. So in total, they're boasters, they blaspheme the Holy Spirit, and I really celebrate the real birthday, which is with Jesus at Christmas. I believe he was born in the summer or spring, not in the winter. But I'm sure that God knows when I was born, and God knows how my biological parents had condemned me since birth. My actual birth date. However, God has cured and restored my actual birthday and Jesus' birthday festival, which is we all know as Christmas. So, how they managed to kidnap my daughter, revealing in this video, which I'm hoping to not be no more than half an hour. 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm I'm socially isolated, surrounded in a hostile environment. I don't have capital. Number two, if I did have capital, then I would have social. So they go hand in hand. And the second reason is because of mental health, long use, and being imposed and forced to use their services since the divorce and the death of my ex-husband. So that's how they were justified to remove my daughter from my care. These two reasons. However, they're not significant, they're not sufficient, because they are lies and they're not created by me. So the two reasons they're using is unjustified, is unlawful, because again, I repeat, I did not create them, and I'm not responsible for the fact that I had been tortured and overpowered. And so I'm putting this rank in this score to say that it's somehow my fault. It's somehow my fault, and it's always my fault, and they're never to blame, they're never put shamed, and they're never put in, they're never put in their place of abusing their positions of power and false democracy and partial judges that are only siding children's social services and the local authority, which is Hertfordshire County Council. So again, would I be